Hey, what's up guys? John here. The stock market and the real estate market are record highs, and a lot of people think that's going to continue. One of those people that would disagree with that is JP Morgan, as they're sitting on $500 billion in cash. $500 billion in cash. And the reason they are doing that is because they say that the only way to combat inflation is to increase interest rates. Funny enough, a week ago, Janet Yellen came out and said that raising interest rates would be a very good thing. What would that do? Well, if you're on an adjustable rate mortgage, that's a bad sign because that means the cost to borrow money is going to be more expensive. If you have credit card debt, that's also going to be a bad sign for you. If you have student loan debt, if you have any type of debt, if you need to borrow money at all, which is literally every company in the country has to borrow money in some way, shape, or form. Everything costs more. So if that is the case, then their $500 billion in cash is going to go a lot further. So they're predicting a recession, a big recession. Then we couple that with something called skimflation. We've just recently been introduced to this. And what this is, essentially, you pay the same or slightly more for a lot less. We've seen Chipotle, what they're doing, giving these little micro burritos for 30 to 40 cents more per burrito. So you're going to get less for more, and you're going to end up paying more for less. That's what they're trying to push. And as they roll this out, there's going to be really big problems. So in this video, I'm going to basically lay out their entire game plan for you so you can understand what's happening behind the scenes to make smart financial decisions. So please smash that like button. When you do, this video gets shared with more people like us. Please hit the like button. Let's begin. Jamie Dimon announced 1 hour ago that cash is king. He said cash is king for the time being. JP Morgan Chase has been effectively stockpiling cash rather than using it to buy treasuries or other investments because of the possibility of higher inflation will force the Federal Reserve to boost interest rates, Dimon said Monday during a conference. The biggest U.S. bank by assets has positioned itself to benefit from rising interest rates, which will let it buy higher yielding assets, he said. We have a lot of cash and capability, and we're going to be very patient because I think you have a good chance inflation will be more than transitory, said Dimon, longtime JP Morgan CEO. If you look at our balance sheet, we have $500 billion in cash. We've actually been effectively stockpiling more and more cash, waiting for opportunities to invest at higher interest rates, Dimon said. I do expect to see higher interest rates and more inflation, and we are prepared for that. Dimon waded into the ongoing debate on whether higher interest rates is a result of temporary aspects of the reopening, like raw material shortages and supply chain issues, or if it could be more lasting. Fed officials have officially called the current spike in inflation transitory, meaning temporary or short-lived. But there are increasing voices, including Deutsche Bank economists and hedge fund billionaires, who warn the consequences should the Fed ignore inflation. Later Monday, Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman told CNBC Wilfred Frost on Closing Bell that he too thinks that higher inflation may be lasting and the Fed may be forced to hike interest rates earlier than expected. The question is, when does the Fed move, Gorman said. It is to move at some point, and I think the basis is more likely earlier than the current dots suggest rather than later. So they're on the same page. They believe that inflation is going to come and cash is going to be king. But then we look over here. This came out Wall Street Journal. These homes, they're essentially building America for rent. They're getting ready for this. You know, when we saw the World Economic Forum saying you'll own nothing, you'll be happy. And then we start to see, big companies like BlackRock going to North Carolina, buying 11,000 homes. They're getting ready to set up this period of time where they're essentially able to go out there and seize America for pennies on the dollar. Right now, BlackRock's paying between 30 and 50% more than most Americans can afford to pay in places like Texas and a lot of places in America. So they're outbidding them, keeping the price really high. And then when the market crashes, then these big banks are going to go out there and really just seize the moment. What does it matter for a company like BlackRock? They're Fed backed, meaning taxpayers are basically paying. BlackRock is pension funds, teachers, school boards. People's 401ks are with BlackRock. They're controlling everything. And it's really quite incredible. These built-to-rent homes are, for some residents, the gated community in the Arizona desert is the first go at suburban living. The 222 houses have tile roofs, garages, white fenced backyards where residents host barbecues and their dogs play. Sounds beautiful. But these aren't forever homes or even starters. They are 1, 2, bedroom rentals with rents starting at $1,420 a month. Subdivisions such as Christopher Todd Communities on Happy Valley, located about 30 miles outside of downtown Phoenix, were built for renters from the start. Owners and developers. Todd Wood, a former organic food mogul, said he started his real estate company almost 5 years ago to seize on what he saw as an increasing demand for rental housing. Mr. Wood is now 2,000 rental houses around Greater Phoenix. So right now is the ideal time to really take a hard look at your finances and see what things are worth holding on to and what things are not. For me, I'm always looking at my liabilities, my assets, understanding how I can reposition myself for the future. I think that having a car loan right now, a massive car loan on an adjustable rate, could be a big problem. So if you have one of those, maybe you look into either selling that car or downgrading that car, getting to something that could be affordable. Because right now rates are near zero for a lot of people. So any adjustable rate mortgages, any adjustable rate debt could be very risky. At least that is coming from the people that are essentially making the decisions on what the future will look like, especially under, when you have connections like Janet Yellen and you're associated with the people that are pulling the strings. I would follow the smart money. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Stockpiling cash, being very patient. I'm in an area right now where home prices have increased 30% in the last 16 months. 30%. Traditional appreciation is about 3% a year. How is that manageable? How is that going to be sustainable over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Ray Dalio at Bridgewater & Associates in 2013, this is the largest hedge fund in the world. He was against Bitcoin for many, many years. However, recently he's come around and said that he thinks Bitcoin could be a very, very good investment. Interestingly, just a few weeks ago, he came out and made a little revision to that statement because a lot of people are also on the fence now with, hey, we should put money into crypto because digital currencies are the future. But with Ray Dalio, he now thinks that regulation is the biggest threat coming to Bitcoin. Now, if regulation hit crypto at the same time interest rates increase, the same time forbearances and foreclosures can begin, eviction moratoriums, everything kind of works at the same time, this would then essentially be the holy grail for these big corporations that essentially control America. They'd be able to go out there and control the price of a lot of these cryptos and control the price of housing. But Ray Dalio is saying that he reveals Bitcoin investment, but warns of regulation rocking the crypto market. You scroll down here, and he says, I think Bitcoin's biggest risk is its success, he added, is soaring investor demand, likely spurring regulation crackdowns, which have already started to materialize in China, crashing crypto markets by more than 50% from highs early this month. One of the great risks is the government having the capacity to control almost any of them. Bitcoin or other digital currencies, they know where they are and they know what's going on, Dalio cautioned. At the Monday conference, he had a similarly cautious tone in November saying, my experience with the government is they can regulate whatever they want when they feel like it, and if Bitcoin gets bigger and bigger, it will get regulated. So be very cautious with how you're spending your money and how you're looking at your current financial position, because I believe that a lot of things are very likely to change in the very near future. What do you think about JP Morgan, about what now Ray Dalio is saying? What's happening with skimflation? What are your predictions in the next 6 to 12 months with where the economy is going? Please drop it below, smash that like button, consider subscribing here, and also consider subscribing to my personal channel. I'll leave the link down pinned to the top comment. All right, guys, see you next video. YouTube Success Blueprint. If you've enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into growing your YouTube channel and create passive income as a YouTuber, check out my YouTube Success Blueprint by clicking the link in the description below this video. One of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, once said, opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out a bucket, not a thimble. I get the feeling that many men and women today are using thimbles instead of buckets. The truth is that we're in a huge wave of opportunity. I'm not suggesting that the current situation hasn't caused any financial damage to people's lives, because it certainly has. You may be one of those who have been fired, transferred, demoted, or had his assets repossessed. When looking up my own channel statistics on Social Blade, you can see that I was able to grow from a mere 11,000 subscribers to 120,000 subscribers in just 15 months. You could do this too, and I want to show you how. My YouTube Success Blueprint is a complete A to Z guide that teaches you the necessary steps in order to get your channel up and running within a few days. YouTube is an explosive avenue where you can earn thousands of dollars based simply on uploading videos and monetizing them for views. Think of a bridge with a toll on it. That is a video that's monetized on YouTube. It also serves a great channel to capture leads and potential new clients. Personally, I'm receiving roughly $30,000 per month in video views through Google AdSense just by people watching my videos on YouTube with 120,000 subscribers. This number is likely only going to grow as more and more people become accustomed to using YouTube. We have roughly 2.3 billion monthly users on YouTube, and I could see that number hit 3 billion in no time. To learn more about growing your YouTube channel and creating passive income as a YouTuber, register for my YouTube Success Blueprint by clicking the link in the description below this video.